Hi guys, I wanted to come on here to talk about our hormones once again and really check in with autoimmune disease. So a lot of women find that as they enter their 40s and they start having perimenopausal symptoms, they actually find that they have also autoimmune disease kicking off. This is actually something that can happen quite often. Our bodies become more sensitive. This has got to do with our changing microbiome, possibly, and there are many correlations and many relationships that one has to look into. Could be chronic inflammation that the body cannot really sustain anymore. When we're younger, maybe we can deal with it better, but as we get older, our bodies just say, hey, you know what, this is a bit much. So there are many factors that can affect that. And I think that we need to talk about it a little bit more because women feel that they're alone when that happens. So first of all, if you go to a doctor, autoimmune disease generally, the doctors use it as something that you can't explain in medical terms. So they will say your immune system is revolting against you. Now, the immune system never revolts against the body just like that. It's more that the immune system may become a little triggered, so more active. So anything that happens will trigger it instead of just pathogens or just, the defense mechanism of the body against something that requires that. So we can start being sensitive to food. We can start being sensitive to our own cells. And generally, autoimmune disease does kind of say, okay, your body's killing cells in your body that are meant to do something good. So say in the case of Hashimoto's, there are the immune system is killing the beta cells that are obviously working on your thyroid. And so the thing is that when we give this diagnosis, we walk away from it as if we have no power over it whatsoever. But the truth is, we need to find the root cause. What is happening into the body? So hormonally, we need to understand that the shifts in our hormones, especially estrogen and progesterone, will cause our microbiome to change. The microbiome, the gut lining, and the immune system are really interlinked. We have 70% plus of our immune system into our gut, and the lining between the colon and the immune system is one cell thick, so it's really, really thin. So if we have leaky gut syndrome or permeable gut syndrome, then many particles from our food that is meant to go out of the way may be triggering the immune system, and that's especially protein. So those protein, and I don't mean protein that you eat and become muscles and so on, but like protein as in different amino acids, different protein combined together, amino acids combined together can trigger something. Protein are in the metabolism of everything, from cellular metabolism to neurological metabolism to everything, right? Even the hormones. So it's really, really, really important to understand these things. So we have that can happen. So leaky gut syndrome is something to look at. So if we feel more bloated, more gassy, we need to really rein back what's going on with our digestive system. There are certain foods that promote the microbiome, feed the good bacteria, and there are obviously diets and foods that would be more triggering. Now, some people may have a very inflamed digestive system. In that case, even fiber, which feeds the microbiome, can create an inflammation. So in that case, we are also looking at elimination diets for a little short time until we can heal the gut to then being able to consume certain foods, and primarily fiber, to make sure that we can support our microbiome. So in women's hormonal health, the oestrobolones are some of the hormones we really want to have into our gut because they actually support metabolism of estrogen. So really, really key to look after them. Then we have to look at inflammation generally into the body. So when we do a blood test, we look at CRP to make sure that there's no inflammation anywhere. There's no tumors that we have to worry about. So we have to really make sure that we are in good general health. There is also the fact that we become more insulin resistant as we get older. So we need to make sure that our glucose levels are in check, especially fasting glucose, and A1C that we check, we basically give an average of what the glucose range is within 3 months, and that's really helpful to see if we are in pre-diabetic range or not. Now, CGM can be very, very helpful, and we can use that for a little time. I wouldn't get too obsessed with them, but I think once or twice a year, just to see how our body's doing, can give us a good direction. I personally also use Lumen to see how I switch between burning carbs and fats, and that just gives me an indication again that I'm metabolically flexible and that I'm working towards not gaining weight, not becoming insulin resistant. Of course, like looking at what you eat is super important. Like every time I eat something, I'm like, I want this food to be my medicine. So I am now strict with my body in the sense, with my food, in the sense that I will really choose the best food. And even if I can avoid eating in restaurants where it's really rich, I would do it. Like, just because I really love preparing my food, being in control of it, but mostly just knowing that what I put in here is serving me, because I've noticed that I've become more sensitive to things. And so I know that with age we can be more triggered, we can have the immune system can be more triggered, and I don't really want to get there. I want to make sure that I'm always, not inflamed. So I will choose food that loves me back, and that's a lot of fruit and vegetables every day, a good amount of protein. I work out, I do weights 3 times a week, I do flows and yoga every day. So there are things that you can do and that I really recommend focusing on. So those are the things that I personally advise. And of course, then working with a professional that understands hormones and can tell you exactly what your progesterone and estrogen need, what you can do through your ovulation period where testosterone is higher to benefit from really taking advantage of that boost time. So those things are really key and important. So I wanted to share this quickly because it comes up a lot, and I don't want you to feel gaslit by your doctors, because again, a lot of the times we are told, especially with autoimmune disease, until they do all the checks and so on, that all of this is in our head. We're also told that, hey, you're only 45, it's too early for perimenopause, or it's too early for menopause. But you know what? Our bodies are unique, and actually we enter perimenopause technically in our 30s, because that's when we start seeing that slight descent of hormone in production in our body. So it's something that is natural, and just because doctors are not all educated about this, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So I wanted to share this with you. Bye.